All right, hello, welcome back to the Binge Boys podcast. This week we're here to talk to you about Arcane, the greatest video game TV series of all time this day.
Yeah.
But before we get into Arcane, which you can watch on Netflix, pay us the check, we must introduce ourselves. And with you today, my name is Enrique.
My name is Eli.
And my name is Tristan.
So guys, we watched Arcane. To disclose before we get going, I must admit I used to play a lot of League of Legends back in middle school. So
Hey, fair enough.
I'm 21 now. That was like 6 years ago, a little 7 years. Well, it was really like 8 years. God damn, it was a long time ago. I'm an old motherfucker. But yeah, I used to play that, and I started playing Wild Rift last year. So
Yeah.
that's my extent of League of Legends.
I was going to say, we've all dabbled in the Wild Rift a little bit, but...
So we were familiar with some characters going into this, right? Not lore-wise, but just design and name-wise.
Right, exactly.
Before we even get into this, Eli, you told me. So I was a V main, who in the show they call Vi.
Yes.
You said you had the reason for why they call her Vi.
I don't have a reason why they call her Vi. I have a reason of why that's a retcon, though, and I'm not sure what the actual name is, if it is Vi or V. I'm going to go with V because that's how I know it, and that's what I'm going to be saying, so I apologize. But it's a retcon because I guess allegedly in lore, she wakes up and doesn't remember anything like about her childhood or anything, and she calls herself Vi because it's the Roman numeral tattooed on her, and that's like all she knows about herself. So that's why that's her name, it's the Roman numeral.
Which I assumed that because it's got it on her face and stuff like that,
Right.
but I didn't know that it was Vi instead of V.
Yeah, so this whole thing about her and Powder as kids and stuff is all retcon because she doesn't remember anything about her childhood.
Which is fine to me. I don't really care.
No, I don't care.
I don't care
at
shit
all
about League of Legends lore.
No, neither do I, dude. I was just
I don't either.
letting everybody know the name, all that gimmick.
I will be calling her Vi because that's what they say in the show.
Fine.
But
Yeah, it's fair. That's those two different people.
let me just come out and say this right now. This show is about as good as people said it was, which is shocking to me.
It's pretty good. I don't know if I would have felt the same if I didn't already have some sort of attachment to a couple characters, though. That's kind of how I feel about it. Like, because I went into the show, I'm like, oh, cool, that's Jinx. Oh, cool, that's Vi. So I don't know that it would have been as cool, but it was definitely still good.
The world building is elite tier, dude. Like,
Oh yeah.
by the
I
end, don't get me wrong, the Vi and Powder storyline is very interesting and very good and carries the show. By the end, I'm more interested in what's going on with the third faction of this world, because they have Piltover, then you have the Undercity, and then there's a third faction that emerges in the mid to late part of the series.
Yeah.
Which I forgot their names, but they all wear the masks.
The Firelights?
Yes, thank you, the Firelights.
Oh yeah.
By
those
the
are
end,
dope,
I
dude.
was like, I want to know what's going on with the Firelights the most out of anything.
Yeah, because that's where Heimerdinger went, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
This is spoilers, so sorry if you got spoiled there.
Oh, dude, honestly, you should have watched this. It's been out for months.
That is true. But yeah, I was interested to see how Heimerdinger goes into that and stuff like that. But the world building's elite tier. The characters are great, and oh my god, the animation in this show.
Yes.
Holy shit, they spent so much money on this.
My favorite part of this is probably like the outside of the outside of the actual story. Like the animation was amazing. I feel like the music fit very, very well. Like I didn't necessarily like all the songs, but it was beautifully done.
Agreed.
I grew very attached to the Imagine Dragons intro song by the end of
Yeah,
the season.
dude, it was weird. Like I'm not an Imagine Dragons guy, but damn, dude, like that was good.
That's my one note, is that I like that song. I
Yeah.
didn't like it as the intro song.
Really?
I loved it.
I didn't.
I thought
didn't
it fit
think-
really well.
Like, it ended up fitting, and there was, I think it was episode 2 or 3, where they ended up playing it, like, at the end of the episode, as stuff was going on. I thought that made a lot of sense.
Yeah.
And, I mean, the song made sense. I just didn't think, I didn't like it as the opener, I guess.
And then my one other note is that I think this is possibly one of the best animated shows voice acting wise. It was fantastic with the voice acting, dude.
it never bothered me, and that's how you know it's good.
Exactly.
It sounded fluid and natural.
There was a couple moments I was like, damn, dude, like I will never get this from a live action. Like, this was beautiful.
It was, man, I just love this. The action choreography and the action scenes was excellent. Yeah. And like you said,
that
the music was so fucking good. Eli told me when we were talking off the podcast, he told me a moment that he was like, oh yeah, you know, me and him are big Pusha T fans. Yeah. And he was like, you know, the Pusha T song, it was okay in the moment. And I watched that moment and I go, you're insane. That was awesome.
It was pretty good. I said it was pretty good. But there was better moments for me. I didn't like the whole comic book-y-esque like over it. That was my only thing.
Yeah. That was weird to me.
And they started the episode like that, so that was my only like little note of that. I thought the same episode, the Denzel Curry one, was very, very similar, and I liked that one a little bit more. And both of those songs, I've been listening to for a while because I listened to the soundtrack months ago. And I like both of those songs, but I just feel like there were better moments to do that.
Understandable. I thought I marked out for it, and I thought it was especially fitting with the firelights, right? Those dudes, right. I felt like it fit those dudes so fucking well with how swagged out they were.
Okay, well, yeah, that makes a lot more sense, too. I mean, again, overall, the music was really well done. They chose the right stuff for this. I think overall they integrated it really well, and it definitely helped make the show better.
I think everything about the show is top tier, and I think really it's just going to come down to your preferences with writing at the end of the day. Like, I don't think anyone can say the voice acting's bad, the animation's bad, the music's bad. It's not. No. You can't. The only thing you would have to be like, well, I didn't like the story because XYZ, or I love the story because XYZ.
Should I do it now or later?
Hey, you go for it, man.
We're still just getting into it. I already know I don't give a fuck about your opinion now.
Hey, no.
You like Lock and Key. Don't talk to me.
Okay, and?
So, I was really intrigued by the character dynamics of this and the way they were able to make a genuine world, like I said earlier, but with the characters instead. My biggest issue when we talked about Witchers a few weeks back was that I didn't give a shit about half the people we were following, right?
Yeah.
In this one, I pretty much cared about everyone sans Jace.
Yes. See, I was going to say agreed. Jace, I'm not
I think
with it,
I dislike Jace too much because I could see him getting worked over by every person that was working him over.
Yes.
Yeah.
It was just too easy.
Yeah, that's my only big issue as far as that. Now, I'm willing to get into plot after that, after you start talking to me. My bad, brother.
Oh, no. I was going to say, I'm kind of going along with the plot. With that Jace thing, I didn't really care for that whole plot line. I don't know. I'm very much not into, like, political drama type stuff, and that was getting kind of political for me.
Kinda?
Okay. I'm gonna say kinda because there was other
his
stuff
whole
too.
plot
like,
line.
The sciencey. Okay, he also had the stuff with Victor with the science stuff, which I thought was cool.
That they turned political.
They did turn it political, but I'm just saying, man. I'm not the biggest political guy, so that storyline was a little bit of a downfall for me.
That's fair.
Understandable. Now, I have one giant issue with the plot that occurred in this show. Okay. It's my only big issue, to be honest with you. There's a prologue I consider in this show, which is the first 3 episodes, is the prologue.
Yes.
Yeah, as kids, right? That makes sense.
At the very end, when Powder gets picked up by Zilko, I didn't like that at all. I thought it made no sense for her to go straight to the guy who just killed her father figure for attention just because Vi got upset with her. You know what I mean?
But did she know that, though?
I feel like she did, and I feel like they've been talking about how Zilko's a scum and stuff like that.
Yeah, no, I agree. But I don't know.
It didn't make sense to me for her to do that. But I gave it a break because I knew it was a means to an end, right? Like, this has to happen so that the rest of the show can happen.
Right.
Especially, like, she's also a kid, too, and I feel like when kids, like, feel betrayed and stuff, like, she was very happy that her shit finally worked, and then to be, like, just casted out by her sister, she's probably needing that attention elsewhere anyway, especially being a kid.
You killed everyone with your shit.
Yeah, exactly. Yep. Yeah. So she was probably, just trying to attach herself to whoever came into her life.
It was going to be anybody.
Yeah, so that's kind of how I took it. I could see what you're saying. Like, I mean, it doesn't make sense that it was Soko, but at the same time, I mean, that was the first person there, and that was probably the first person that she leached onto for that reason.
And so that part concluded the prologue, which was very good world building, establishing everything, establishing the Undercity versus Piltover, all that.
Yeah,
Absolutely, it was.
I would have never guessed that Jinx and Vi were sisters, but here we are.
I mean, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say, yeah. I mean, here we are. Right?
Yeah.
Are they like actually sisters, or is this
Yes.
their sisters by fire?
The way they made it sound, especially when they talk later in the season, she says, "Remember our parents." So like she literally says that. So I believe that they are.
Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're legit sisters.
Okay.
And apparently in lore, I was looking a little bit of stuff up. There is some like actual like ground to like stand on with that as well. A bunch of people like kind of assumed that was the case, or like guessed that was the case, and this show kind of confirmed it for them. That's kind of what I'm hearing. So correct me if I'm wrong, people in the comments, but that's what I'm hearing.
Okay, that's fair. That much I didn't know.
Say how long it is between episode 3 and 4.
No, I'm assuming it's at least
A few years.
I think
I'd
it's
say
5 or 6.
6. Yeah.
Okay. So they're
kinda
pretty
why I
much
took it.
grown by then.
Right.
Yeah, I'd say Jinx is at least 15.
I would say
16.
Vi's grown. Jinx is like a teenager still.
Yeah, I'd say
Yeah.
she's mid-teens, and then Vi's probably, I don't know,
Early
23,
20s, yeah.
24. Yeah.
Because Jace was already, I think, like in his 20s at the beginning, and then they showed him later, and he was more disgruntled and scraggled and stuff.
Yeah, creepy little fucker, Jace. So, I thought that the whole 4th episode, I was thinking the whole time, I was like, where is Vi? You know what I mean? We're getting the Caitlyn story, we're getting, a little bit of Jinx, we're getting Jace. I'm like, where the fuck is she? And then they go to prison, and then we see the dude who was working with Zilko get dogged, and I'm like, who dogged him? And then it finally clicked for me like 2 seconds before they revealed it. I was like, oh, it's Vi in there. And then they pull her out. My God, they swagged her out after the prologue.
That's true.
Vi comes off as so cool, so confident, cocky, angry. Dude, it's everything I love in a character. I'll check all the boxes. Like, Vi was perfect.
I would say with that too, I feel like they did the same thing with Jinx. Like, she pulled off like the crazy Harley Quinn-esque like character super well.
Agreed.
And I thought that pairing Vi and Caitlyn up was perfect.
Oh yeah.
I don't think
sense.
Caitlyn's a strong enough character to stand on her own.
Not a
chance.
chance.
Put her with Vi, who's an excellent character, who has issues and has mistakes, and has a goal and has a fire and comes off so swaggy. You become to like Caitlyn. And I was like, oh man, I really like Caitlyn. I really like their dynamic together.
Yes, me too. Yep. I agree.
It made sense. It was kind of the yin and yang.
Yeah, that whole plot line was probably my favorite part of the show. There's them versus Jinx. I mean, that's the main plot line, don't get me wrong, but that was definitely what made the show for me.
It's obviously it's the main plot line. I think it's either my favorite or second favorite. I think by the time they reintroduced Echo, I was so engrossed in what he was doing.
Echo's super cool, but that definitely takes second to me.
He just didn't get enough time yet, right?
I agree.
No,
but
I think
not at all.
Season 2, it's very possible that becomes my favorite plot line.
I hope they fucking scrap. I think if what happened at the end, happened, and the J shit finally fucks off, and we get fire lights and all that, and we get Vi stuff, they only have up to go, which is even insane, dude, considering how good it already is.
Yeah. No, I 100% agree.
Like, dude, it was great. I thought there were some funny moments too with Caitlyn and Vi. I really like the men are women. You're hot. And then her name's Matilda, but you can call her whatever you want. I'm like, my God, Vi, you threw her to the sharks instantly.
Dude, there were some good moments, man. Vi was just flipping people off at some point, saying "fuck you." I was like, this is dope, dude. I like it.
Just running through there.
It did cursing and sexualization like that naturally. It didn't feel forced. It didn't feel shoehorned in. It just felt like this is the natural progression these characters would make.
Exactly.
Right? I think the only time I didn't feel it was a natural progression was, again, to our least favorite part of the show, Jace. I thought it was wild for him to go from like, oh, hey Caitlyn. Like, it seemed like they were trying to push that for a minute. And then she went to the black lady, the black chick, and then he started fucking her, and I was like, bro.
Oh, yeah.
Come on, you're getting played, dog. How do you not know this?
Because he's stupid?
I mean, yeah. His hammer's cool, though. That shit's dope.
The hammer was cool.
Hammer, scythe of God thing.
Yeah, that was awesome.
So it was very obvious they're trying to keep Jinx and Vi away from each other as much as possible.
Right.
Yeah.
Throughout the course of the show and saving it for like, the end like it did. And I thought it was funny and crazy that she still had the blue smoke from when she was a kid. Pop this, I'll find you. She finds her. They start talking. The fucking firelights and Echo fuck it up. Because like that point, could have saved her, I think. Right there, could have ended it.
Oh, yeah.
And got her.
100%.
Yep.
Echo fucks it, right? Okay. Then it happens, they get to the bridge. The whole Caitlyn thing, the misunderstanding with, because Jinx is going crazy because she's been tortured. Not tortured, but she's been given Stockholm Syndrome with this stupid, crazy fucker, Zilko. And
right.
So she thinks Vi going with Caitlyn's her betraying her. When it's not. She did that to come back, put her over there and then come back to get her. And then that leads to the Echo and Jinx fight. And by God, that's probably one of the coolest fights ever.
Oh, that was awesome. Like I said, dude, you had the Denzel Curry song over it, man.
I've always been a firm believer in stylization over like just high quality animation. And then they gave you both. They stylized the fight with the clock, this little pendulum thing he was doing, and then seeing them fighting as kids, and then seeing them fighting in the future, and the music over it, and like the white background with the green and the colors for them. I was just like, dude, this is visually like some of the best shit I've ever seen.
It was very
amazing,
cool
dude.
to watch.
Yeah. No, the production stuff in this was amazing, dude. Those guys should definitely do more stuff, whoever they are.
Well, I think the only reason they're able to do is because League of Legends has infinite budget.
Well, that is true.
I don't think there's anything else in the world that's going to have as much budget as League does.
Yeah.
So,
no, that's fair.
They can do whatever the fuck they want when it comes to animation. They can pay hundreds of millions for the animation. And, I mean, Arcane was super popular. People who didn't even play League were finding out about Arcane. So, the money well spent, in my opinion.
Oh, yeah.
Oh,
no,
they did
100%.
a great job marketing themselves.
And, yeah, whew, lovely. I really thought towards the end, bro, we got one of the best lines ever at the end of the series, episode 8, I think.
Okay.
When Jace and Vi are talking to each other, and he goes, "I'm not a vigilante," and she goes, "No, you're a victim." And I said, "Oh my God." That might be one of the hardest lines of all time.
That was hella funny. There was a couple of good lines. I forgot to write one down, but there's another one that stuck out to me at one point too. The script for this was really good as well. Just the dialogue between the characters at times. I was like, oh shit, okay, that's pretty cool.
The script was great. I was trying to figure out throughout the entire show was like the diversity of the characters, because you had the sheriff and then like Vander kind of sounded like they had Australian accents or just somewhere from down under over there.
Yeah.
And then there was other people with just the straight accents, and there was like, I think there was some British accents in there as well. I was very confused how this all occurred.
It's not Earth.
I know that, but
it's not Earth as we know it. Well, I mean, you're trying to apply Earth logic to not Earth, so it's gonna be
yes, but even so, we don't see different. Like all we see is basically the Undercity and the Overcity for the most part.
They mention other places though.
They mention them, but it had just been basically in the past few years with the Hex Tech that they were able to really get around to those places.
I was gonna say we haven't got enough of that world building yet.
Get around quickly. You can still move places, but they're talking instantaneous with Hex Tech versus the months or whatever it would take to travel from country to country.
Right.
So people were still traveling. It's just people were traveling and staying, or they're traveling months versus years versus days or whatever.
Right. I'm just saying, like, more of that, not that they will, but even just more of that extra outside of just their city building.
They're setting up for it with
they are.
With the mom of the politician girl.
Mm-hmm.
Her showing up and talking about the other place that they rule over that's war-driven. They're setting it up, so... We also kind of glossed over the Victor storyline, which I actually thought was very good. Because you see the clashing scientists, you see Jace he's the big face of the corporation and everything like that. He's the one that's receiving all the praise, and then you have Victor who's working in the shadows just for the goodness of it,
Because he likes science.
Well, because he wants to help people like him, because like that's a big contention for them towards the end of the season, is that Jace keeps saying, we can't let those Undercityers get over here, and he's like, I am from the Undercity. That's me you're talking about right now. And that's like a huge beef for them, and I was just very interested in that, especially what's going to happen to Victor and stuff like that.
I don't know how he doesn't turn heel, man.
I don't know how he doesn't die or turn heel. It's one of the two.
Yeah, they're setting up so hard for that. And like I said, I don't know anything about the lore or anything. I just think it would be cool if he turns into Dr. Mundo. But, that's just beside the point.
I'm thinking Mundo or Brand. That's probably who he's going to turn into.
I could see it, yeah.
That would make sense.
But because the only reason I think that, well, I guess Zilko's not around, I guess. So. I thought Zilko was going to turn into Mundo.
I thought Silco was going to turn into Singed for a long time.
Until we saw Singed.
Until we saw Singed, and I was like, oh, that's not going to happen, okay?
Yeah.
Yep.
So, we get to the end, and fucking from the Jinx and Echo fight, Jinx got very banged up. They bring him to Singed. Singed gives her the fucking, I forget what it called. What they call that purple shit?
Shimmer?
Thank you.
Shimmer. Thank you, Tristan.
And juiced her up, and now she's kind of going even more 4 loco. And
like 5 loco.
Yes, she's going 6 loco, actually.
I'm like 8 loco.
And I'm just like, holy shit, she's going crazy. And then we saw the scene of someone sneaking up on Caitlyn. I was like, you already know what time it is. You know who's getting her.
Yeah.
And we get the dinner table scene, or the party table, I guess.
Oh, that was wild, son.
I've never been more frustrated with a character than I have with the party table scene.
Yeah.
How so?
All Caitlyn had to do was sit down and shut the fuck up.
Yeah, pretty much, dude.
That's it. Sit down, shut the fuck up. Vi was handling it.
That's all Jinx had to do the first half of the show.
Tristan.
Okay, but she's obviously mentally handicapped.
Yeah, what are you talking about? Why would they have the villain sit down and chill out? That makes no sense.
I said the first half of the show.
Well, yeah, but she's
she's a kid though. Yeah.
And?
Yeah. She don't got the mental capacity yet.
It wouldn't have happened if everyone wasn't kept talking shit. If those other 3 dudes didn't keep talking shit, Powder would not have gone initially to the big boom boom plant where everything happened. And if Vi had not been a dumbass, none of that would have happened in general.
Also true.
But Caitlyn getting out of the cuffs and picking up the gun fucked it. Because now Vi's having to talk down Caitlyn and Jinx, right? It's like, no. And then Zilko's very silver-tongued in the show. So obviously he's playing into Jinx's mind already, cracking her. And then we get this biggest fuck-up possible. Caitlyn fucking fires the minigun.
Oh my god, dude.
And hits Zilko. And kills him. And now Jinx, because of that happening, Jinx sides more with the Zilko philosophy and takes the Hex Tech and decides, I'm going to go wild now. And Vi's trying to keep it all from going down, keep her from killing Caitlyn. It's just crazy.
I'm okay. Maybe I'm the one who's wrong here. I'm pretty confident Jinx is the one who shot Silco.
Is it?
Because she
sure of that.
Yeah, because she went.
I thought they were struggling for the gun and it shot off.
Jinx just did some bullshit and ran up on her, stole the gun, and then Zilko was about to shoot Vi, and so she turned and shot.
Yeah, that is correct.
My miscount.
I think, at least. No, I mean, either way, same.
Caitlyn fucked up. And so we gotta give her negative points for that.
There shouldn't have been that feud.
She's too over justice. She wants to be Captain America when you gotta just be fucking Hawkeye sometimes.
So changing notes a little bit, I felt really bad for Heimerdinger.
I did too, man.
He got hoed real bad. I felt so bad. Dude was about to cry, dude. I was about to cry. I'm like, come on, man, that's Master Shifu.
Jinx really fucked him like that, though. I can't believe he did that. Or not Jinx, I'm sorry, Jace.
Jace. That was so dumb. I was so pissed when that happened, bro.
Same. Like, I wasn't a huge Heimerdinger guy until he, started just getting emotional about getting, quote, retired.
I was sad.
He didn't get retired. He got hoed, bro.
Yeah, no, he did get hoed. But hey, he's in a better place literally now. So
hey, he's gonna help lead the uprising. So I'm cool with it. You're gonna see Heimerdinger on one of those little hoverboards. He'll be coming in throwing bombs on people. It's gonna be hilarious.
Him, Timo, and Ziggs are gonna all just team up and bomb people.
Hey, they're gonna get Fizz too.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, he's gonna come out the ocean. One of my predictions, speaking of other characters that we haven't seen yet, or maybe we have seen based on my prediction. So the Asian dude, the cop, you know what I'm talking about? I forgot.
The sheriff.
I forgot his name. Yeah, the sheriff, the Asian dude. He died, right? Or did he?
He died.
Yes.
Yeah, the one that died. So when Silco was playing with his daughter, who is a young redhead girl, playing with blocks, I'm like, that's Annie.
Oh my god! If that ends up being Annie, that's wild.
Dude, I saw that.
Annie.
I was like, Annie. So we'll see, man. But that's my wild prediction of the season.
That's a pretty wild prediction that I'd be down with.
I don't even have any predictions like that. Dang.
I was gonna say my last note is that the show has a lot of potential. Seeming there's like 100 characters they haven't used yet, so they have a lot of ground that they could use. Voice crack they could use.
Dude, I'm already in love with this show. Like, they could do whatever at this point. By the end, I was just so into it. I'm so into the characters. I'm into the dynamics between everyone in the Undercity. The Overcity, they're gonna have to do a little bit more to get me interested in that. But damn, I'm ready.
That's fair.
I was gonna say, yeah, Tristan. I know you disagree a little bit, so I want to let you talk.
I do, but not for maybe not what you guys think. In my opinion, this show is very good. We've already talked about it. They did so many good things in this show between the animation style. They used the music very well. The plot is well done. The world building is awesome. There's good characters in here. That's fantastic. I don't like it. It doesn't stick with me. At all? Like, there were some parts I liked. My thing is, it's not it's not how they did it, it's what they did. Because I felt like this entire, at least this season, was just an animated political drama, which I don't care about at all. It literally made me so much less invested in the majority of the characters, in the majority of the plot lines, that it full on almost just turned me 100% off of this show just by turning the entire thing into politics.
I think that's fair, honestly, because like I get what you're saying. I did not like the political aspect of it, but I feel like there's a lot of other shit that I did enjoy that made that not matter as much. I'm not saying that you're unjust in thinking that, because I totally agree with you.
Right, and that's the other thing is I found a way to connect, like my brain just decided to find a way to connect everything to the politics that they're doing, because literally everything is connected back to the political portions of it. And so like there's very clear classism in this show. Thankfully, and okay, maybe I should be careful the way I say this. I'm glad they're doing just that and not trying to throw all kinds of issues into one. So we obviously have like classism and a lot of political stuff and kind of us versus them, the top versus the bottom mentality. But I'm glad they didn't try and throw other stuff on top of that. Overall, we don't have any sort of sexism, racism issues.
Oh yeah.
The only ageism, it wasn't even really an ageism issue with Heimerdinger. It's just that, like he is older. I don't think it was because he's older, but it's just because everyone was like, oh, we got to do new stuff, and you don't want to do new stuff.
I was reading some shit. Apparently, he's like 300 years old.
The show made it sound like he was even older than that.
I guess they could. I don't know, dude. His like race or something can live up to like thousands, or I don't know, dude. I was just reading some shit. I was interested.
It's cool, dude. I like Heimerdinger.
Yeah, he's dope,
and I like other characters in the show. I like Vi. Jinx is one of the, like, I don't connect with Jinx at all. I don't have any sort of attachment, but she's done magnificently. So I'm not even upset about that. And I'm not upset about, like, how they did everything, because they did it really well. Objectively, this show is phenomenal, and I understand why you guys like it so much. It was just kind of all that political stuff turned me away, and part of that is my own fault for having expectations of this show being related to the game at all. And maybe they'll go that way at some point. That was my main turnoff, was that. And again, it's not that I think it's a bad show at all, because it's very obviously not, and I'd be, lying if I tried to say otherwise.
No, I think that's totally fair. I hope that the political drama stuff is just a ground for future seasons, and that they need that to build on.
I hope
that's
so.
how I'm hoping so, and they don't, continue with that theme. But yeah, no, I get what you're saying.
It depends on how it goes from what Reek was talking about earlier, with how the season ended. There are basically two directions it can go, and it'll be based off of what happened there.
Yeah.
What happened
we
was
will
Jinx
find
took
out.
the big gun and shoot the big gun at the big roof, killing the big everyone allegedly.
She blew up the sun.
Hopefully.
She stole the moon.
Let's be honest. It's probably none of them are dying. Probably.
No, nobody's gonna die.
Probably
maybe,
like two of them.
Maybe the
two or
black
three of them.
girl, but that's it.
Well, that's I didn't really like her or her mom.
No,
So-
me neither.
Didn't care about them.
I hate people who do the whole playing both sides House of Cards gimmick.
Yeah, no, I'm not a fan.
It just
But
doesn't.
yeah,
But-
man.
Anything else from you boys?
We have a top ship contender for myself.
I
Vi and
have a
Caitlyn's
ship.
is a top ship
Yes,
contender.
I would agree with
period.
you. I would agree.
At this
Yep.
point,
I like it a lot.
like,
Alright.
fuck, like it's a top ship contender. If you want to fight me about it, meet me in the alleys.
I'm very
Meet 'em
much
in the
into that
lanes.
plotline. I want it. I want that ship as well.
But besides that, numbers. I'm gonna get this
Yes.
out the way. We're gonna start high and work our way down.
Oh no.
I got a fucking 9.
Okay, see, that's not as crazy as I thought you were gonna go. I wrote down 8.5. I think it's pretty good. We'll see how it goes from there, but I think 8.5 is fair. Be honest, man. It's okay.
No, I know, and let's do it kind of like Reek's done before. Objectively,
Nah, fuck all that. Give me a number.
no. Objectively,
One
this is a
number.
9.
One
Objectively,
number. One number.
Hey,
Yeah, we
no,
gotta
I'm not
enjoyment.
gonna. No, you don't get no
No.
special privileges here, buddy.
No, I
This
stopped
show
doing that 8 months ago. One
And-
number.
Yeah, no, we
Enjoyment.
only did that.
enjoyment, like a 6.
That's all you need.
How
That's
good is
fair
the
then.
show? The show's a 9.
No, just say it. It's a 6.
No,
Okay,
it's
so
a,
what overall rating would you give it?
I was gonna give it a 9.
No, it's a 6. You said it was. You enjoyed it a 6. It's a 6.
Okay, I'm not talking about how much I enjoyed the show. I'm talking about how good is the show.
Why do
That's
you?
I'm
a
gonna put
9.
you down.
But why do
I'm
we
gonna
watch?
put you
Why
down
do
for
we
a
watch
7.
TV? Why do we watch TV? To enjoy it. If you enjoyed it, a 6. It's a 6.
Okay, if it's a good show, I'm gonna admit it's a good show, whether I liked it or not.
But then you say that you think it's a good show, but you only enjoyed it worth a 6. That's a 6.
I've had this
No.
issue too, because in the past, Monster, you guys have liked more than me. It's obviously a good show. I didn't enjoy it as much, and that's my final score was like a 5 or 6 or whatever it was, because that was my enjoyment level. So if it's a 6, that's totally fine. Like, you can admit it's a good show and not enjoy it. Like, that's totally fine. I have done that many times.
Just like I enjoy bad shows, we give those high ratings.
Exactly.
Yeah, I don't know. I'm trying to give it a good score because
No,
it
I
deserves
know.
a good
Pussy,
score.
though.
You're pussy though. Like, what do you?
No,
let me
'cause
give.
you're trying to
Let me
you're
give my.
trying to tiptoe.
No, I'm not. I'm literally telling you what it is.
Well, I think it's pretty good, but it's not for me. So, like,
Hey, I
it's
do
like
that-
a
I do that
9,
too.
but it's a 6. No, we're done with that. No more of those.
I'm done with you, dog. It's a good show.
Hey,
We're only halfway done.
hey,
so-
calm down, ladies. Calm down.
This dude not even
either-
trying to let me compliment stuff anymore.
Going into this, I had, I think, higher expectations just because I saw the IMDb rating, and that gave me just chills. I was like, how did this get a 9.2 on IMDb is just insane. And it was really good, don't get me wrong, but like to have that average score was nuts to me. Like, damn, people really, really like this.
Yay.
I see why.
So,
No, for sure.
give me Arcane Season 2 now.
Yes, please. Please.
Now.
The good thing is we waited a couple months, so therefore we get it a couple months sooner.
I heard it's coming out pretty quick too.
Oh, is it? That's dope.
And if that's true, now.
Starting off the year hot with this, and then Crease.
I have a real bad feeling about Cobra Kai next week.
Cobra Kai.
Real bad feeling, but you know it is what it is.